Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled Robots in the Kitchen. My source, the U.S. Sun. Article entitled Tony Romas, CEO reveals key employees will be replaced by robots as Chain aims to get back to glory days, published 3 days ago. The CEO introduced a plan to integrate technology into all areas of production. M. Hawk, Tony Romas, CEO, spoke about plans to introduce automation into the Florida-based chain's restaurants. Hawk spoke about the potential for technological advancements in restaurant operations. My vision is to be ahead of the curve when it comes to technological innovation, she said. We're trying to look into where we can incorporate AI from enhancing customer experience to inventory management and also robotics. Hawk, who has been the company's CEO since August 2024, said that technology will be a big part of the restaurant chain's future. She introduced a Tony Romas 2.0 plan, which aims to see technology incorporated in all areas of the restaurant's day-to-day functions, a new direction. In the 90s and 2000s, Tony Romas had nearly 200 locations worldwide. Today, the once popular steakhouse chain, famous for its ribs, has only 10 remaining locations in the U.S. Hawk hopes that technological integration can improve customer service, inventory management, meal prep, and other important affairs. Maybe in a few years, maitre d's will be replaced by robots, Hawk said. We don't know, but innovation is just expanding so fast. I see technology as a way where it shouldn't replace an employee, but it should supplement your work. She's lying. She is lying. Because if a robot can do this and that, what is the purpose for all these employees? Look at all the so-called overhead you will be saving, right? Let me look up this term too. I know it's a French word, but in the English, from what I researched, you can pronounce it as maitre d's. Look at that. So it goes into head butler or steward of a household before it referred to the head of a dining room staff. It should make the work more efficient, more error-free, human error-free. Hawk said that robotics in the restaurant industry are an inevitability, similar to how the internet has changed business. Robots in the kitchen as Tony Romas look to implement technology in its kitchens. The company has employed Delight Salakia, Delightry and all-in-one franchise management software to produce training manuals. I have this prediction where I see in 2 to 5 years almost all restaurants in our industry or even across industries, a lot of businesses will be heavily AI and robotics dependent, said Hawk. Okay, so she is down with the plan. And what is the plan, right? Going into, of course, you know what? We are going to get, I think that's Job 5 and 13. No, Salaki, verse 12. He disappoint the devices of the crafty. Disappoint the devices of the crafty. Who is he? Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And who is the crafty? The Edomites, so-called white people. Okay, and I'm talking about these 13 Edomite families that control this entire system. Okay, the shadow government. All right, so these so-called leaders who you see on the forefront, they're nothing but puppets, and their strings are getting pulled by these 13 Edomite families, period. Okay, and they have an agenda. And within the scripture, it speaks of their agenda. He disappoint the devices of the crafty, this automation, robotics, AI, all of this is moving forward to the new world order, a digital system. Okay? The new world is going into a digital system. Okay? In with the new, out with the old. In with the new, digital. Out with the old, paper money. Okay? The blockchain is nothing but a fucking tracking system. So again, he disappoint the devices of the crafty so that their hands, meaning might, power, or control, cannot perform their enterprise. And their enterprise is also spoken of on the back of their dollar bill, going into what? The new world order. Okay? And on the dollar bill is in Latin. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. And verse 4. And the door shall be shut in the streets in America when the sound of the grinding is low. No jobs and more stores or businesses closing. Why? Because they're moving to what? AI, robotics, automation, okay? Which is concepts within the fourth industrial revolution, okay? Job displacement for humans, and the narrative is based on due to human error. All right. But ultimately, they want this concept for their new world order. They want everybody enslaved outside of those 13 Edomite families. Okay. And it's all about the birthright. So they feel that if they can merge man with machine, that is their form of what? A so-called eternal blessing, going into what? An everlasting life. And it would never fucking happen. So again, Ecclesiastes 12 and 4, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And this prophecy is speaking, right? And according to Hawk from Newsbreak, what did she say? I have this prediction where I see in 2 to 5 years almost all restaurants in our industry or even across industries, a lot of businesses will be heavily AI and robotics dependent. So that means what? More humans. A lot of humans, almost all humans, will be enslaved within their households on a universal basic income. So again, And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. But the point is, the door is being shut when the sound of the grinding is low, and ultimately, they want all these industries to have automation devices and robotics. And again, this is a concept within the New World Order. Check this out. Fair use. Now, this commercial was back in 1995, right? Check this out.
In 1972, Tony Roma's original chef, David Smith, perfected the recipe for America's best ribs. So, Dave, what have you been doing the last 20 years?
Been cooking, man.
Looking back on the time, I've been cooking, just to see you smile. Hey.
This world is changing for the worse. And all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, because for the sake of prophecy, okay, this dominion is almost over. Lord will, this was an edifying lesson. Shalom.